The following is a presentation of KSL Sports. First and 12. A total roundup of BYU and Utah football and the expanded Big 12 Conference. Subscribe to the First and 12 podcast. Your hosts are Mitch Harper and Alex Kirry on KSL News Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome on in. It is First and 12 right here on a Tuesday evening with you, Alex Kirry, Mitch Harper. Alex Kirry here at our studios in Salt Lake City at KSL News Radio, and then Mitch Harper on the road in Kansas City. Big 12 Media Days for basketball happening there. And then do you just go straight to Iowa State? Is that the punishment that you got this week, Mitch? Is that what goes on here?
That is correct. I'll just go straight to Ames from there, be in the Midwest. So
do you walk? Do you walk there? Is it that close, or how do you guys get you?
About three hours.
Oh, you got to drive
I've been told.
Oh,
yeah, you're going to drive it.
Well, enjoy the scenic views and of the rolling plains of Iowa. It should be very beautiful there all week long. Here, of course, we're going to get you ready for BYU versus Iowa State, but also across this entire conference, just the coaches are delivering and trying to put their elbows out for their teams and talking about how great they are or how slighted they were, whatever it might be. It's part of our Big 12 Sound Roundup. Let's get right to it.
Big 12 Sound Roundup.
Check 1, 2.
The best bites, cheap shots, and excuses from Saturday's post-game news conferences.
The buzzword for this week's Sound Roundup has to be analytics. Have you heard coaches locally say the word analytics more the past weekend, Alex, than this one? I mean, because Kyle Whittingham and even Kalani Sitake, they've been both using that word a lot lately. But Kyle Whittingham in particular, because the Utes, they took a lot of chances. They rolled the dice and went for it often on fourth down, and they got stopped on those occasions. This was Kyle Whittingham citing those analytics for why they didn't kick field goals inside the red zone against BYU.
Analytics, well inside the analytics to go, well inside, 3 yards inside the analytics. And so unless you tell me to go against the analytics, that's why.
Do you have to adjust that given the game and the matchup here?
No.
That follow-up by KSL Sports' Steve Bartle was pretty well. I mean, I thought it was a great question because it was like, hey, you know, sometimes the analytics are there. It's easy to lean on that. But this is an emotional game. And you don't want just the emotion to get into it, right? I mean, I think that's the whole point. Like, I thought it was a great follow-up because it was like, hey, listen, yeah, but this game kind of requires something. And by the way, you and I were looking at this, I think, at one point after the game where it's like, okay, where did they end those drives? BYU's 8-yard line stopped on a 4th and short. BYU's 13-yard line stopped on a 4th and short. And then, of course, they went for it at, I think, the BYU 32 when they decided not to go for that field goal, right? Or from the 27, rather. They decided, okay, we're not going to go for that field goal. They didn't trust their kicker. That's one thing. It's one thing to say, I don't trust the kicker from 45 or 46 or whatever. It's another to go, okay, at the 8, you know what that is? It's a 25-yard field goal. At the 13, you know what that is? It's a 30-yard field goal. And those should be automatic for your guys, and you got to get out of that red zone with a field goal. But he did. He leaned on this analytics thing. And look, I'm not shocked by it at all. I get to hear Kyle Whittingham every week go, well, what's his QBR? Give me what his QBR is. Yeah, look at their rushing numbers and look at where they're at compared to the rest of the – he loves breaking down the analytics, and I think it works. If you want to do the Moneyball thing, absolutely do it. But there are some things that are a little bit more of those intangibles in a game like BYU versus Utah that I think that you got to look a little bit more into. And I think that, he got caught a little flat-footed on some of those answers because I don't think just saying it was the analytics, next question is good enough for a week like this.
That's not going to work in that spot, especially, too, because, I'd have to dive into the actual data and numbers, but it just felt like in the early years of Kyle Whittingham, he would never take these chances where he was going to always go for the points and go for the field goal. And I think maybe it's a case of he's got trust in Jason Beck and he believes in this offense, and they are much more high-powered than offenses he's had in the past. But I think that's what makes this even a story, too. One, it's because the BYU game and you lose, but also old school Whit doesn't do this. Yeah. He's just taking the points, go with the field goal. But I also wonder, too, how much question there is with Dylan Curtis, because the one time we did see him, and it was, BYU blew a timeout and called it right before Curtis kicks it, and he missed it badly.
Yeah, badly.
Whittingham then has a change of heart on 4th and 7 to go with Utah.
I get that one,
offense.
I get that one. Like, you go, our dude can't hit it from here. Like, what else am I going to do? Just
so no trust in the kicker then is what I think it could be. That's beyond analytics. It's just saying we don't trust.
Yeah, we don't trust him. But again. But that's not the case from 25 yards. That's not the case from 30.
Yeah.
Like those are auto, even for a guy who might be in his own head a little bit. But again, too, and then you had the Kalani side of things. It was like, hey, so tell me the thought on going for it as many times as you did. And what was his answer in the press room?
Analytics.
Wow. Well, he said
Gut
analytics,
feel.
but then he goes,
He
hey
went
man,
for it.
I'm a fan, dude. I like going like. It's a video game for me, man. You know? I mean, and so there's a little bit of that. Like, which one is being more honest here? You know, it's like Kyle leaned on the analytics answer because that's the one where people can't really push back that much on you. You can still push back, and he'll go, yeah, but no, the analytics, I'll always go with those. And it's like, no, you won't. No, you won't until next time when you don't. And so saying that is just the excuses. That's what you got to do after a loss like that. After you make. And again, you're talking like you're going to talk about Kyle Whittingham like he's a hero if they get all those, right? If they go for him and they get him, it's risky, but the analytics said to go for him. We got it. Here's Kalani Sitake, by the way, after that win, talking about how they've got to handle this thing and fans have to handle this maybe a little bit differently after they've won that game over the Utes for 3 straight for BYU.
I hope that our fans would understand that we're on a win streak right now. We know what it felt like to be on the other side of that before, and so to show respect. I mean, you guys do anyways. The majority of our fans do, but show respect to our opponents, and I just feel like it's really important for me to say that at this time, that if we're going to break the cycle in this situation where you're kind of it's like the pride cycle that we learned from the scriptures. If anyone can break the cycle of being kind and not stepping on your opponents when they're down and try to find ways to uplift them and just appreciate we're in the Big 12 together. It's amazing. I never thought this would ever be possible, that we're in the Big 12 together and we get to play this game and be partners with this wonderful conference.
Mitch, as always, Kalani, taking the high road. Always taking the high road, trying to be the good guy. I love it, but at the same time, like, there's part of me that kind of goes, you don't have to keep telling the fans to be nice, I get it. It's part of their deal. He's doing the kill 'em with kindness thing, and they've got the whole humble and hungry thing, and they've got the whole, they're taking a different approach. I appreciate it. I think it's fun. Fans will take that with a grain of salt, and they'll treat the rivalry the way they always do in the future for sure.
Part of me though wonders if this messaging got amplified for Kalani because of the events of last week. After we had our show last week, there was a man down in Emory County who got arrested for threats on social media.
Yep.
That was centered around BYU and Utah. So I think Kalani kind of just used his platform to say, hey, just be kind to everyone. Please don't go say things that are going to get you arrested potentially, because that's what happened last week for a fan before the game. So but yes, Kalani always tends to take the high road. And is there a man that loves the Big 12 more than Kalani? I love the conference. There's a lot of cool things we could do in the Big 12.
Yeah, I love Utah. I love the conference. I love Utah. I love all of our opponents. I love the coaches, the other coaches and their wives. They're great people. Yeah, all of it. Next up on our Sound Roundup, Arizona State's head coach.
He loves this guy too.
Oh, he does, yes. No, they're friends. They're very close. They're very close in the offseason. Arizona State head coach Kenny Dillingham on how tough his quarterback Sam Levitt has been. He didn't play in the game against Utah last week, presumably so that he could be ready for this one. And boy, were the Sun Devils ready for this one against Texas Tech.
Yeah, that's him. I'm just glad he didn't play basketball this week, because that's what people think a competitor like that does. It's disgusting. The dude's a battler. He's a competitor. He's a fighter. He wants to do everything he can to get on that field for his team. He was ready to play this week. I felt he was ready to play this week, and he played, and he fought, and he competed, and that's what Sam Levitt does.
Get that man a mic pop guard. Come on.
He was hitting that table hard. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I like his attitude. I mean, there's never a press conference that Kenny Dillingham rolls out that I'm annoyed by him. I just think he knows what he wants to say and he says it. And the guy is already acting like it's a little bit of like the Mike Gundy vibe. When Mike Gundy was young and coaching at Oklahoma State, I hope that later on in his years he doesn't turn, full Mike Gundy. But I do like the way he approaches it. Just tons of passion every week. He loves his players, And it's hard not to buy in on a guy like that if you're playing for Kenny Dillingham down at ASU, man.
Kenny Dillingham has Arizona State rolling. And look, they've already lost 2 games. They lost to Utah and Mississippi State at the Final Horn. But when they've got Sam Leavitt, they are darn near unbeatable in the Big 12. And I think that's the story here with them, is that they take down a Texas Tech team who was banged up, and Texas Tech had Will Hammond in the game. And I mean, honestly, I thought Will Hammond, after that Utah game, I was making an argument even on this show, is he better than Baron Morton? So that's no excuse to me. They had some injuries in the secondary, the Red Raiders did, but hey, everyone's banged up, including ASU, and Arizona State always finds a way to win. They are a tough out, and like BYU, they've been consistent. I think that's refreshing, and that's something when you think long-term of who are going to be the teams that can climb and consistently be those programs that every year going into a season gets the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's going to be Arizona State, because what they're doing and the quality of wins they're piling up, particularly at home, it's been impressive to see from the Sun Devils.
Take a break here. We'll come back. We'll get you ready for the last segment of the first hour here. It is 1st and 12. KSL News Radio, Mitch, Harper, Alex, Kirry. Join us right around the corner for more talk right here of the Big 12 on 1st and 12.